qualifier to something, and they looked really strong, especially as you said, Sweden strong. Really nice nickname.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're a
that
big fan
that
of
that
but I'll go ahead and pull up that information and
yeah.
get back to you
No,
on that.
because what I remember of them, maybe I watched them in some qualifier to something, and they looked really strong, especially as you said, Sweden strong. Really nice nickname.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're a
that
big fan
that
of
that guy looks like he knows exactly what he's doing.
I didn't write down their finish at Arlington, but when I listened to the interviews and read everything, one thing for their performance at Arlington, they were also impacted a bit by visa issues. Their coach, who they call Jenna, who is guess who previously coached for I'm forgetting the name of the team now. Shame on me. Vega Squadron. He used to coach for Vega Squadron a couple years ago. They say is super instrumental towards their team composition and especially their lineup. They, as a team, they draft a lot around him, and they say that this is like solo, no one saying this, right? So some authority, I imagine, compared to the newer guys who just joined. He has final say in the draft, so they will recognize things, and usually the way that these teams work is that when they're really meshing, everyone's on the same page anyway, as you say, but he has final say, right? So, and they trust him to do it, and when they couldn't do that at Arlington, Navi did. They really felt like it impacted their game quite a bit. So maybe don't judge them so much on the performance here at Arlington, and give them a little bit of a fresh slate now that they've got everyone here and in the drafting room with them.
10
Yeah.
seconds
Oh,
remaining.
that makes sense. Okay, so what do we have so far? Got a
5
Visage.
seconds remaining.
And the Batrider.
There he is. Lots of winged beasts. The Clockwork, which received a couple of bans in our first match against Tempest, this time picked by Navi, so that very well could be a deny pick, although with the Nyx Assassin, a little bit unlikely that Tempest had picked up first.
Oh, really? I didn't pay attention to that. When was he banned?
He was banned. Vici banned him at least the first game. It was like their first ban, I think. Maybe
really?
it was Marcy and then Clockwork, which was really unique to me, right? Don't see that hero get super banned.
No, I mean, that's my experience in pubs now playing Clockwork is, I don't know. I feel like everyone is just flying around, jumping around. I can't catch anyone.
Yeah, even Zeus, who used to
10
die very
seconds
quickly to you,
remaining.
is just like
Yeah.
leaving your cogs, right?
Yeah.
That feels bad. Sign of the
5
times.
seconds
Okay, so
remaining.
you know a bit more about Tempest than me. So like, who's their bat player?
Pardon me. Their bat fighter, they'll run it between mid and off. To be honest, is what I usually remember. It doesn't really, to me, stand out on either of these guys too much. I think mostly because Sebas is a bit newer to the pro scene overall. So I don't think he's really made like this is by far his biggest event ever for him, right? I think his biggest event before this was 2 or 3 of the DPC where they finished 4th, right? And I think they went like 3 and 4, which is a respectable finish considering it was their first roster or their first season together. But he didn't really like make huge upsets and really make a name for himself compared to like this TV pick, right? Which like for Kotaro is going to be one heck of a hero for him. I think like past RDO and I think like who else, like Leo Style as well, who used to be on this roster. I think Kotaro can make a lot of space on this guy.
Okay. No, I mean, I've only seen 2 games so far, but yeah, he's getting what he needs every game. It's just the team needs to keep up a little bit.
10 seconds
And I think we're still looking for a Vatoon hero as well for Navi. See what he's been spamming on his Dota 2 Pro tracker.
I mean, for me, it's simpler. You see if Slark and Faceless Void are banned, and they are, and then it gets a bit more tricky to what they'll pick.
And I'm just looking here at Arlington. They placed 13th to 14th. And we're eliminating groups. So again, Navi not having the best showing coming into this. They were very confident going into their regional qualifiers from all the content and interviews, which are lovely, by the way. I'm always going to give a team a shout out whenever they do produce content. And even though, of course, it's all in Russian or Ukrainian, of course, it's all subtitled and really, really good stuff. Highly recommend you check out the Navi Dota 2 YouTube page for some, which are lovely, by the way. I'm always going to give a team a shout out whenever they do produce content. And even though, of course, it's all in Russian or Ukrainian, of course, it's all subtitled and really, really good stuff. Highly recommend you check out the Navi Dota 2 YouTube page for some really cool insights to the team. So, yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to see what now we're thinking about here. Because generally, the mid laner is the hero to counter Terrorblade as a carry. And you also now have to think about Phoenix and Batrider. So like they have a lot of annoying heroes picked up here on Tempest.
I do. Yeah. Especially that Nyx assassin. Like I think Pango. I've seen lots of Pango mids go usually Maelstrom and then like Basher. Usually, I mean that's not too out of the ordinary, of course, right, for Pango. But usually stuff like that to deal with TB illusions and give you some extra wave clear, which Navi is kind of lacking right now, right? It's not easy
Yeah.
for a Clock or a Venge to easily clear a wave. I think Visage can do it just fine, to be honest.
It's still a little slow. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I feel like Pangos want to go Diffusal Blade, but this is definitely a game where if you can get Maelstrom, you get an Axe, and you'll be like you'll try to carry this game.
Right. You'll
But
roll around and
still a little slow. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I feel like Pangos want to go Diffusal Blade, but this is definitely a game where if you can get Maelstrom, you get an Axe, and you'll be like you'll try to carry this game.
Right. You'll roll around and spam that every 2.5 seconds with the 15 talent I think he has. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then you're disarming the illusions, you're killing the illusions. I mean, I think the sniper drawban are really good. They pick up the here.
Now that probably is a core this time by the looks of things, but still can be a flex between mid and off lane. So very unlikely to go as position 5 DP, which Tempest did play where we first saw them today.
No, I really want to see what now you're thinking about here.
10 seconds remaining.
What would I want? Okay, quick pick.
Quick pick.
PL.
I want a PL. Beat TB, play the illusion game against him. TB also doesn't really like playing against illusions, despite being an illusion hero.
Yeah. For me, it's not one of those like old, very, very free games. You have an AoE stun by Nyx Assassin, you have Batrider, and you like a guy who's kind of underrated is Phoenix. When you get your shard and you just press egg and PL cannot fight into that.
Very true. I think as well. I thought that was a Winter Wyvern for a second. It's actually Visage, which Lies is playing. But I was looking at like the team fight, the AOE, the lockdown, the control, because I think like you're completely right about this Phoenix Supernova, especially on the shard, right? Even shard or not, just getting and laying down a Sunray onto a hero who's like permanently stunned, say like a TB who's caught in one of those Pango perma-stun pinball areas, but you just like heal him from range, like that's enough to buy you a lot of space this game, right? I do think that they can run him down pretty nicely between a Clockwork, a Venge, and a PL, and maybe even can scramble the egg with the Dispel there on Doppelganger for the PL. But there's a lot of other team fight that Tempest are going to be presenting, right? There should be heroes in the way between Clockwork trying to easily get a free hook shot every single time, or Vitoon simply just phantom rushing on top of the Phoenix. But yeah, we'll see. I think. I don't know. The team fight, I think, is looking really good for Tempest yet again. I think this is probably their best team fight lineup they've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, their last lineup was quite strong in team fight too, so let's see if they can bring it together. But at the same time, like, PL is a classic counter to TB, where you keep kiting and kiting, and then eventually you commit. So, I mean, I think a lot of this game will come down to how the lanes go here.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, it's a little bit less common, right? But we used to see, as far as like item to item for the core-to-core matchup here, like Medusa into the PL, right? Medusas would always just go for an earlier butterfly than normal, and then that would force PL into a bit of a problem, where usually by then PL had like heart or something, and the Medusa couldn't quite kill the illusions, but also didn't care for the illusions. Is that an option for TB here, or does he just have to build fairly standard stuff, go for Iascati, and then look to, transition from there?
Yeah, no, I mean, butterflies, just looking, it's definitely a good item here. It's just, I feel like there's so many good items. Do you need a BKB too? I'm not sure. Like, preferably we would want to try to skip the BKB. It's just this annoying Pango rolling around. Because you're right, like a butterfly would be really nice. And like another item that would be really nice is Ags. Like, that will just stop Navi's lineup completely.
Yep, the Terrorblade.
But I mean, I don't think that's a very popular item to go right now for Terrorblade. But there's like, honestly, if you can just farm, and just get every item.
Just get 6 slotted, Kotaro. I mean, hey, that's
strong.
That's worked out for them, and good positioning here is Kotaro being ran down. No brown boots here on the Clockwork, but Kotaro is still going to take quite a beating here. I don't think they can quite go diving, but with the first point there, Lies has the kill on the Soul Assumption.
No way he doesn't press Fairy Fire there. That's so greedy. Wow. Okay.
That's a big opening as well now for Navi. With that little bit of bonus gold already, the Courier's moving out here. It's a lot more regen. 2 more mangoes, right? And another stack of, or just a stack of tangos.
Yeah.
Lai's going for, I mean, speaking of greed, right? Usually you get at least 2 bounties, so you can at least get like tangos and something. But, you know, a full wand and then 3 iron branches, so just like fully statted out here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you could see Sweden Strong, like the pathing he took there in the start was really clever. Like they didn't even have vision, but he like, you know, it's just one of those plays you make, you take a chance.
Yep,
and it,
absolutely.
Sometimes it pays off.
Some mind games as well being played with a little bit of the gauntlets being thrown around the map. There's the glove finally coming back to slap Sebas over in the mid lane. What do you think? Yeah, I think they're like using it to distract him because look, the glove's gotta. I'm serious. The glove's gotta fly over from the off lane, and when he's in the middle of trying to CS here,
you can do a lot of things. Like even those balloons are like so annoying.
You kick them around.
Yeah.
You gotta love the additions when it's battle pass season.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this Tempest offlane, right? Because that's kind of where we left off with Tempest last time, right? Where it's been an offlane, unfortunately, that just hasn't had a lot of impact. Katyu is going to live up top lane, a little bit of a scary moment. And then maybe they turn onto Sweden Strong. Kotaro, though, he's going to struggle to close the gap, and unfortunately, his high five will go unanswered.
Yeah. No, I mean, this lane should be so free. Like, Vengeful Spirit is truly an atrocious hero, and like he's playing with PL.
Oh, she didn't even get that.
Using a stun to try to like, yeah.
Oh,
no, that's no. I don't even know why he has stun. Maybe he picked up a rune, like I wasn't. Okay, top again. He doesn't have dive, and he's dead.
Yeah, that's a good effort there. Very little armor, not the best starting HP either for Phoenix. Not bad, to be honest, nearing 700, especially compared to a TB. But highest nuke in the game at level 1 there. Soul Assumption, and a good way to ramp up the damage there with power cogs. And this safe lane now might actually be the thing to focus on here for Tempest, as this one's starting to go lopsided a bit early on.
Yeah. No, it's I don't want to keep harping on it, but it's sloppy again. Like he's one creep away from level 2 on Phoenix, and he can never die. Okay. Get something back here? Nice.
There it is. A nice jump in. They got to be careful. Lies has a mango, so they got to be careful he doesn't shoot back a Soul Assumption for a nuke on the TB. But that's at least a kill with the first usage of Metamorphosis. You're talking about that level 2 spike, and there it is.
And like now there's something you talked to me yesterday about these flag bearing creeps. And if you see right now, like this is so nice for the Terrorblade. Like he has it going now, and he's almost regening up to full just from one tango. Flag bearing.
Oh, careful though. Sweden Strong looking to close the gap. Phoenix is off away, dewarding the small camp as Kotaro's trapped inside. Lies with another Soul Assumption. Still level 1, but still good damage here.
Yeah, but you see him popping the stick there?
Yeah.
He's never not gonna pop it again now when he's getting
Lesson learned. I mean, that's what you got to do, you know? Every single time I watch a pro player stream, I always really enjoy when they make a mistake and they identify it, they go, okay, I'm not making this mistake again, right? It's just the immediate adaptation to that. Maybe, you know, Navi can look to punish that by just forcing stick charges when it's not super, you know, appropriate. But hey, good stuff from Kotaro, right? He's learning.
That's just funny. Like, no way he's dying, but he remembers.
Just in case. He's just testing it. Just make sure it works.
Yeah.
But back to this bottom lane, right? I mean, we talked about the weakness of the Vengeful Spirit. But, you know, where do you think Tempest is going to be able to, you know, kind of utilize a little bit of a better start here in this off lane? Because finally, for the first time, Draken has higher CS than his opponent.
No, this should be completely free for that. Like, there's actually no threat ever until the Pango TPs. So you can keep hitting this PL, keep getting these. Honestly, you should just be spamming Crypt Swarm, I feel. He doesn't even have a stick on PL, so just I don't know why you used that level 1 drain. Quite bad. But like that wave there and those hits, and the Venge can't help the PL at all. And they have no aggressive potential, so you're kind of just standing around them.
Whoa, speaking of aggressive potential, actually, Sweden Strong is going to glyph the wave as they go diving underneath the tower. Katyu's going to jump in.
Oh, no.
Taro is going to struggle here, pushed back by the cogs. He gets into, pushed back by the second cogs. He's being cog blocked now as Katyu, still alive, actually, tanks on through it. The flag bearer creep maybe having something to do with that. Bit of bonus armor, some regen underneath the tower, and that dive is going to go punished by Sweden Strong.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was hoping his Visage would stick around there, throw a nuke. But at the same time, if you look at the end result here, Visage, like level 4.5, top net worth with the TB, it's quite good for them.
Things are looking good right now. I'm taking a look at the mid lane here, constantly clicking on no one to see what his items are going to be, what he's thinking about queuing up, whether it'll be Diffusal or Maelstrom, you know. kind of thinking about what kind of direction he feels like he needs to go in here earlier, and what'll be more of a pressing issue here.
Yeah. Yeah, and this bottom lane is miserable for PL. But I mean, he's just gonna try to get his level 6, then head for the jungle.
Yep.
Stick there for 20 minutes.
Do some core things, you know,
yeah.
Get lost and ping a couple of waves and say, no, I'm taking that one.
Yeah.
Good wave, little refill there, courtesy of Katyu, as he's going to deliver the refilled bottle to Sebas. Mid lane as well, this time around actually going much better for Sebas. That's also been kind of something we've been harping on a bit, was especially last time around, the mid lane matchups seemed to be a bit stronger by XM in terms of just player to player. This one seems a little bit more even. I mean, sure, it is Batrider into a melee, you know, so he's definitely got an advantage.
I think a lot of the time it's been like the Puck versus Void Spirit, that's the only one where he probably should have done a little better.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's looked solid.
And now he's got the point in lasso.
Yeah.
So
he's strong.
They've sent a second hero on over to the mid lane. The DD is going to spawn bottom and into the bottle of Sebas. That wasn't enough mana for or XP for level 6, so they're going to go on in. But the shield crash is going to end, and he will die underneath that tier 1 tower for no one. That could be, actually, they've timed this perfectly with the 5-minute wagon. They don't have a fortify because they used it for the dive top. I don't know if this is like a tower, but it's some real damage here.
Yeah, no, finally they get payback from the game before there. Get a nice double damage room. Like, this is the runes, right? This happened with Vici. They get a double damage and you just go take a tower.
I think he's going to get this tower. I mean, that's... Yeah. Normally, you know, Batriders eventually get a tower, but they're not really known for their push just straight up like that. But a DD rune, and off to the races they go. Really good work there from Tempest. A fortuitous opportunity, definitely not wasted.
Yeah. And Navi are kind of lucky. Like, if Draken down here had more mana, I think he could have killed the tower down there too. Just he ran out of mana, so he couldn't quite dive the way he wanted to.
Yeah. Solo doing what he can, but Solo's only level 3. I mean, he's just like tickling him with Magic Missile, and DP says, okay. Things are looking hard. How's this going to affect, like, this mid tower's fallen so early, right? For, like, a Batrider especially, who's probably going to go for bots first, right? Like, how does this affect his game? Obviously, he's already farming much more aggressively than you would otherwise see a Batrider pushing this early. But, you know, how are they going to be forced to respond to this tower being down so early?
No, it's just gonna be harder to contest runes, right? So I'm expecting Batrider to get most of these runes. And I mean, other than that, I'm a little surprised by he's playing it very safe. He has a Windlace and a Brain Drop, so his Traveler a bit late, but I guess that's fine.
Oh, no one. He's gonna have to use Rolling Thunder here. There's no lasso for 20, and they've actually done a great job there to dodge both the Rolling Thunder as well as the Battery Assaults. Careful here, though. Up to the high ground goes no one. And Katyu's used all of his mobility here, and with that second attack there on the Swashbuckle, they'll get the kill. Inside the cogs, though, it's turned into a bit of an oven for Sweden Strong, and he is going to perish. But down bottom is where there's now more action. Non-stop here. Solo throws what is a lackluster stun for him, unfortunately, not lasting nearly long enough to save his life. He will perish. He does full DP off. He pulls, rather, DP off the tower for a couple of seconds, but that's still not going to be enough to save the tower.
Yeah, and Batrider does end up getting the rune bottom tower. Like this, finally we get to see Draken play a game. I feel like the last series they played, they actually did not get to play at all.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, to be honest. I think mostly it's been them kind of making a little bit of space for Kotaro and just, you know, trying to get to that late game, trying to make sure he gets his items online, and then unfortunately just not really quite connecting. I think now that, you know, we're going to see a little bit of a reinvigorated Tempest. Now that Draken has a game to play, now that Sebas especially has a game to play, and they want to do their own things, you know, we might see a much different gameplay out from them.
Yeah. Okay, they can't gonna wish for anything better. Like, this is exactly how it should go. Really nice.
Kotaro also responds beautifully. As soon as the tier 1 tower push begins down bottom, he pushes one last wave with a couple of illusions, and then he just kind of leaves into the jungle. He's not sticking around any longer than he needs to. He's already taken 1 death in this lane, or actually the first blood, right?
Yeah.
Which didn't really affect his lane. But
doesn't even count as the lane.
Yeah. No one is going to get off the Rolling Thunder here. That was lasso already utilized. In comes Slathing, though, and no one, I think, caught a whiff of him, so he's going to go ahead and roll right through those trees and take the short path right back to safety.
Yeah, feels unfortunate though. You used to roll, now the rune is spawning, you know, bad. Like, you're just praying it's not a haste or like...
Alright, I'm just looking at Slaven being annoying here.
Sweden
the
strong,
triangle of Attune. He might die for this, especially with a haste rune on Sweet and Strong. Spawned top that time around. Batrider can't do much here. Doesn't have a lot of mana either, but he's willing to at least split the battery assaults here. Sweet and Strong still lives a bit longer thanks to the infused raindrops as well, giving him an extra 120 HP, which would have kept things pretty close otherwise. These things save lives, guys.
No, so Navi are now in a position where, yeah, it's not, they can't really do much yet. They have to keep patience. So the Pango is going for Diffusal over the Maelstrom, which, I mean, I think it's fine.
Yep, it's more damage straight up, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a quicker build up. It's just, they kind of need it. They need some stuff early now. And Visage is still farmed, which is nice for them. So he'll get his rate back. And when they get that, that's when they'll feel comfortable to maybe make some moves. Yep. Until then, they'll just run around.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the Infuse will inhibit, let alone the active, I mean both, or sorry, the passive of Mana Burn. Feels pretty nice versus the DP, just slower a bit more. Careful though. Top lane, Tempest are looking to boot Navi from the area. There is a Supernova at the ready. Exo as well is used. The stun, of course, used to cancel Sweet and Strong's TP, and that'll be him dying. The question is, can they also get Lies, as he is flame breaked out of his tier 1 tower, but is otherwise going to be a bit too speedy here.
Look at Nyx though, he's being really sneaky.
He's got Vendetta, and in fact, they've blocked the Ancients here, so that's even a
Oh, solo kill bottom? No, he got the swap off.
Oh, Sunder, and now no one is going to pay for that one. A couple tips as well back onto no one. It did trigger 2 TPs from 2 Tempest cores, which means they will not get that tier 1 top lane, but it is going to be a big kill on a big prize all the same there. A kill onto the mid lane Pango.
Yeah. No, that's one of those frustrating, smash your keyboard a little bit. The enemy carry lives with 1 HP and yeah, then he sunders you and you die. Very frustrating.
And Kotaro, I mean, he's had a couple of moments, I want to say, today, at least in our last series where we got to see him personally, right? Just barely making it out alive and continuing to farm and get up his items. He's still the richest hero in the game, as Sweet and Strong looking to get a bit of gold himself. They're going to swap him back into 4 enemy heroes. Really nicely done, at least from solo. That's going to be a big kill.
Maybe getting a kill top on the Visage? Yep.
Yeah, looks like it. He's pushed midair, he's lit on fire, and eventually burned. So much fire on this team, and lots of fury there for Lies, as it's Navi who make another smoke play immediately. They're actually bringing Vatoon for this one. Is this
Can
a
they
double
finally get him?
defusal?
Oh, he needs defusal.
Yeah, it's going to be double defusal.
I think they're killing Terrorblade.
They're going to get Kotaro. Okay, yeah, they inhibited the right one. He's out of mana, doesn't have the cooldown anywhere for Sunder, but they are going to at least throw him a bit of a loop. Why, he's still alive. Finally, he dies. No one does a great job there to secure the kill with a nice little jump out, but it's some serious damage now onto the Batrider as Vatoon as well picks up another kill. No one is going to end up cliffing himself and will perish. Can Vatoon make it out becomes the question. He's got Doppel, so it seems like that's very likely, although the jump forward from Phoenix might put a stop to that. They're going to need to get the job done with some right clicks. He's going to get a nice Phantom Rush to the creep wave, but he's going to die to the right clicks of the Phoenix, and he loses his courier in the process.
Oh my god, look at this PL's inventory. It's so sad. Oh no.
Well, that's a PL who feels, you know, I mean, I liked the move, though, from Vatoon, right? Unfortunately, it's quite a costly one. You kill the TB, but, you know, he was already out of mana. He didn't have Sunder. He didn't have meta. You kill him, and you lose 2 heroes for it being 2 cores.
Yeah, I mean, they got the bat, though, so, like, overall, that's...
Good point.
Like, it was fine.
Good point.
And he's not that far behind in gold. Like, he's behind, but it's still manageable levels.
But I did like him making the move anyway, right? He's like, I have an item, we can get a kill on this. And I think that's really progressive thinking there from him. Lies is going to be caught. Oh no, they've accidentally hook shot the Familiars, but really good spell usage here by Navi's at least going to be enough to get Lies out of trouble. Some swaps and a stun. Keeps Slothing at bay.
Oh,
and
birds.
It's only
the birds are dead, man. And it's cooldown.
And that's, you're right, actually. It's on a cooldown for another minute and almost a half. So that's going to be pretty painful for Visage. Now, he doesn't really get to play Dota. He can really only offer a level 1 solo assumption every now and then.
Yeah. No, it's what you said, right? When those birds die, it's the saddest.
Yeah, it's pain. It is pain. No one. Mid lane. Speaking of pain. Oh, there's no... Pardon. there's no lasso, so I don't think they can really make a kill attempt for him. But the cooldowns are now coming off, or they're getting ready for Tempest, is a bad way to phrase it. But lasso's now ready to go. Supernova, again, is good to go, as well as another Vendetta. So Tempest may look to make a move here. There's also a Yule Scepter for DP, which is going to give her a lot more survivability. And anything useful we're dispelling on the side of Na'Vi? Shield Crash might be useful to dispel, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just to save yourself.
True. Yeah.
Gonna get hooked and stuff. No, the Tempest are in a really comfortable position here. Yeah, they're looking for the Visage. And I think...
Yeah. And there they go. And they should get him here. There's going to be the stun out of Vendetta. Of course, the cloak stacks do block a lot of that, but that's a two-man hook shot. Is that going to be good enough to turn with the Wraith Pact as well to boot? They're going to go ahead and bring Clockwork along for the ride as they're going to look to burn through him as well. But actually, it's going to be Sweet and Strong who still gets that kill onto Sebas. And a really good Rolling Thunder here is at least going to maybe give Sweet and Strong a little bit of extra space to escape as he breaks a couple of cogs. Oh, Slavin, what the heck? Misconnections there. They go dancing around the tree there, and it seems like they're gonna all dodge each other out barely here. Draken, though, he still wants to fight. He did commit a level 1 Exo for this, but Na'Vi doing a good job of just poking at prodding from outside of range, and they'll be able to disengage fairly cleanly. They'll still lose the Visage, but once again, it's gonna be a death onto the Bat Rider, and now even a death onto Sladin. Really nice job.
Yeah, they got the ward up there. Okay, that's a weird sentry. Whoever did.
Yeah, I guess he maybe thought it was way further.
Yeah.
So that was a good calculation there, right? Just on the movement for no one.
No, I think Bat Rider after that death, that's where you say, okay, I'm farming my BKB, guys.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Yeah, he's, I don't know. I think going that long, that deep was fairly aggressive here, and now he recognizes he needs to chill a little bit and make sure he can actually live through these kill attempts.
But now he's picking up the pace, going mid, straight away.
And the stun as well to slow things down. Again, there's a Supernova ready. Hookshot is good to go as well. Swedish Strong with a pretty good angle here. Likely not going to be scouted that easily, but the tower is going to fall with just a couple of spells thrown by Tempest. They make the call to not fight pre-BKB, and I think that's a rather sage one for now. Especially because we take a look at what Kotaro's continuing to farm up. Ayasha and the Ultimate Orb, yep, combined there with the full Manta Style and another 1,000 in the bank. He's chugging along real nicely as far as his itemization. Are there any like key items to you in this PL versus TB matchup that, you know, are going to be a really big go time for one or the other?
No, that's why because you suggested Butterfly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't think that's the item.
Right.
So that's why I kind of want him to show me the way here. Like, what is it? Because whenever I'm playing a core versus Pango, like I want BKB. It's so annoying to play without BKB. But at the same time, do you really want to go BKB here? Manta BKB?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now Slavin is scouted here, buys a little bit of space and time for himself, and there's going to be the Sunray heals. Keeping Slavin topped up for now, quite healthy. There's a PL threatening to join the fight as Elias is actually going to lose both of his familiars there yet again on cooldown for 20 seconds. They could not get another stun off as they had already done so, so that's the second time he's fought over a little bit of gold from what Tempest. 200 gold every single time they get a pair of those.
Yep. Okay, so he's queuing up the Skadian Turbo.
Yeah. That seems to make sense, and it's generally a good item to have in a 1v1 matchup, but against all the illusions, of course, is where I start to draw my doubts.
I mean, he's just hoping his team will take care of that.
Yeah,
and like early on, the illusions are not that big of a deal, but later on, when Peel gets his heart.
Also, I don't know if you can really take it, because that 15 talent just seems way too good on Spirit Siphon for the bonus 30 damage, considering it's just a straight up 30% damage amp, to be honest. Like, that, how do you say no to that on that spell? But the -2 Crypt Swarm as well to deal with illusions is super useful. I've seen that destroy illusion-based heroes in some games, but again, it's if you have the mana to sustain, and that was back when it was the +1%. So I don't know if it's worth taking in this instance.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Also, I like the itemization Katyu as well with the Veil of Discord on the Phoenix. That's not an item I see, like, you know, purchased every single game on supports. But it does feel really valuable when you're able to pick it up.
Yeah. I don't know if it still works this way, but before when you used this, it wasn't dispellable, so you would see the real PL. I don't know how it works now. It's still the same.
that'd be a keen observation. I'm gonna try and keep my eyes out for that, as they're gonna make the jump onto Sweden strong. Good swap out again by Solo. Is actually gonna waste a Spirit Siphon. There's a shard now on Draken as well, so if he's able to sustain a Siphon, he's gonna get that fear. Solo might be the first one to be feared, as there he goes. Back to the fountain. This time it's Tempest who bring more than enough.
The birds, man. The birds are dead.
You're right, actually. It's another 30 seconds without birds.
It's been like 1,000 golden birds.
Yeah, good point. It's been, that's the 4th time I've seen them die, which is literally 800 golds. So you're not far off. That's not much of an exaggeration. It's a lot of money. You think, you look at this net worth lead of 2K, and about half of that is familiars, which is significant. Everyone always talks about the bears. Bear, 300 gold. Visage is the same thing, except it's just slightly less gold. It's the same thing. It's just as it feels bad, when it dies. Maybe not as much, right? Because at least Visage has items on the hero compared to Lone Druid. But
yeah, but just for like farming, it feels equally bad.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but I mean, Navi have recovered quite nicely. Like they had this lead 2-3k gold 10 minutes ago, basically, and it's tapered off. So I think they're feeling okay. See, Tempest are still in the driver's seat. They're going for Roshan.
Yeah.
But
it feels like they're the ones that are going to be able to much more easily force these objectives. Now, there is a hook shot. There's a Rolling Thunder ready to go from Navi that they're threatening, but Tempest seem very confident that they're going to be able to take this. There's not enough mana right now for a Manta and a Sunder, so they got to watch the mana here on the TB. It's quite low as they start this fight off. Here's Rolling Thunder. No one looking for the right angle to get in, and he's going to find his mark. He wants to take down Sebas. Roche is falling rather quickly. No one's into the pit, trying to 1v1 Roche, but it's got too much HP, and now he's been bashed. Kotaro focusing onto him. There's going to be the Yule Scepter, and Kotaro with Aegis in his clutches takes down no one. Didn't get that one right. Navi unable to get into the pit either. Sladin, Sebas, and the Phoenix keeping them out, and that is a rough one because guess what, Pylai die? That's 2 more familiars.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, that's what I call a Chinese Roche fight. It's like it's like something I observed a long time ago when I just started playing Dota. It's like when they feel stronger, they just go to Roche. And the fight, it's not clear that you're gonna win that fight. Like Navi could have easily won that fight.
Yeah, for sure.
When you win the fight, yeah, you're very far ahead.
Yeah, and you feel like a bit of a baller too. I'm sure there, Tempest, nice Yule Scepter to just completely stop no one. Even the alley-oop there by Roche as he finds the bash, and that's going to have him sitting pretty. You were saying they're a little bit more in the driver's seat. I'd say they maybe now have 2 hands firmly on the wheel, at least during the effect of this Aegis, right? 5 minutes of basically free farm for Cortado, probably a couple tier 2 siege. Nothing too game ending. Navi not quite out of it, because of course Vatoon still continues to farm fairly comfortably, but I think Tempest, for really the first time, at least I've seen them today, because I didn't catch their Secret Series, are really going to be comfortable with their position.
Yeah. So like now, yeah, Navi just have to fall back on their PL because he's still farmed. He's actually quite close to heart. What is it? He needs like 2k more gold, and that will be definitely annoying to deal with.
Pai, you brought up the idea of a Chinese Roche. I would be remiss after doing SA all tour, all season even, if I did not bring to you the concept of the SA Roche. Right?
Yeah.
And the SA Roche is when you're playing very well, you play a very clean game, and you decide to take a Roche fight, and you just absolutely throw the fight. Tempest, they've moved past it. They're playing versus Eastern Europe. They're not going to do the SA Roche, and now they're in a great position, especially because no one, he's going to get caught here. Didn't even get off the shield crash, and that means he is easy pickings. Katyu is going to burn him down, and that's likely a tier 2 here as well for Kotaro.
Yeah.
I promise you, though, that SA Roche is a very big deal. You'd have a team like up 12k, gonna secure 3rd Roche, and you'd be like, oh, they're doing this to be safe. And really, they're doing that just so they can test tier 5 neutrals. I mean, it'd be ridiculous sometimes over in the SA region. But that's why I like how you brought that up, because I think SA, for traditionally what has been their weaknesses of not having coaches, especially, starting to change at least this time around, they still love fighting. That has not changed. And unfortunately, sometimes you can kind of bait them into fights that just aren't really that good for them, especially when they have an item advantage or a core-to-core matchup that they feel confident in. It's something that you can definitely take advantage of. At least in SA, that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just, because the only teams I've seen are the higher rated SA teams now, and they don't quite follow that stereotype anymore. Where what team is Hakas on? Like that team is also
Thunder.
really strong, and then Beast goes.
Hakaz's. Yeah, I can't wait to see him tear it up in group stage. But for now, it's Tempest who are going to be able to tear it through a Visage. Hookshot is going to connect onto a familiar. And a nice stun there from Slavin. He's still looking for the Vendetta. He finds a stun instead out of the Vendetta. It's good enough as it'll catch Sebas the kill, and it forces back Sweden Strong. Towards the mid lane, though. Careful, though, as they are going to find a pretty isolated Quadrado. He's going to get off a Sunder. It's not the best one, but also not the worst. And now, with Caillou continuing to heal him up, he is going to force back the PL.
Yep. No, Navi are quickly getting to this PL versus the world game plan. They're always going to have this annoying Pango role, and no one has kept up decently in farm, so he will have some impact, but it's going to be up to this PL to carry this game.
I'm also, one of the bigger changes in terms of heroes in our current match is going to be the Clockwork, actually, especially because it's relevant as he's actually nearing completion of the Ag Scepter. It's still called Overclock, but it no longer just refreshes all of your abilities. Now it upgrades all 3 of them. 4, I should say, actually. Most importantly and relevantly this game, when you overclock on the Ag Scepter, it applies the Battery Assault stun to everything in the radius, not just one. And then, of course, there's a couple more upgrades that we'll bring up if they become relevant. But that's the biggest one for now. Clockwork's always been this hero where he goes on this illusion hero, and then they just pop Manta, and then they kill him inside.
Check out no one here. He might be getting caught.
Oh, actually, good point. There's a scan, though. So he's going to jump away, and actually the Carapace isn't off in time. There's reinforcements now for Navi, but no one getting caught out here. Oh, and unfortunately, it looks like the hookshot's not good enough, as Caillou is going to be uninterrupted there in his channel into the Sunray. Oh, no, not the familiars. Yeah, Polaris is going to get him out. But anyway, I should be much more brief.
With the overclock, yeah.
Yeah, new Clockwork Axe. Good versus illusion now?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you can just hook into the Terrorblade, right? And you would shoot the triple rocket flare, and you would be dealing damage to everything.
Yep.
The problem here is just he's so low farm. So even when he gets his axe, this Terrorblade is gonna have like literally 8 times his net worth. So you're just gonna die in 1 second, unfortunately. But maybe if you can get axe and then perhaps a Ghost Scepter.
Okay.
Like there are things to do.
Yeah, I like
so that might be useful.
I'm just wondering. You've said that you've seen a little bit of Clockwork and you've not really been too impressed by it in pubs. You were surprised when the hero was banned even against Tempest, and here Navi go picking it in the first phase. I believe it was the 7th pick in the draft, or 2nd for Navi. As once again they're gonna maybe go on a familiar here. Careful. Aegis is expired.
Hooking.
So Navi, they feel a little bit more confident in taking a fight, and that's a bash. I believe it is a bash, courtesy of the Pango's new item there. But I heard a roll-up, and unfortunately he's going to not look to engage in this fight, so they're going to go ahead and have to leave the Clockwork to die. They didn't use Rolling Thunder, though.
Yeah, no, they saw DP pop everything, so they're like, yeah, I'm good. Okay, so you went for your Butterfly. I think I like it. Butterfly BKB. It's not a bad idea at all, because he was queuing up Skadi, but he changed his mind.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is always something I've seen, in case you've missed it in the 2 games I brought it up already. The Medusa versus PLs always do, right? Where I'm a hero that doesn't really like playing against illusions. TB is a hero that does not want to build MKB. I'd be really surprised if he builds it, even with this Butterfly now online. But we'll see, because usually in the Medusa specific matchup, Medusa has that 25 talent where you can get auto attack modifiers, but I don't know if TB is going to have a problem with
Navi are looking to fight there.
Solo, or Sebas?
No Exo.
There's going to be a stun, though. No Exo, no BKB, but the Eul Scepter is going to at least buy her some extra seconds. Rolling Thunder incoming now from no one. Is he going to jump from the high ground? Oh, does not catch the Phoenix in time. The Supernova is a thing of beauty, and the control on the Batoon. The swap out might be enough to save him as Sladin goes chasing, but the rest of his team is crumbling around the ashes of that Supernova. Lies as well. He's got the Ag Shard, so he buys himself more time now. Bocotado right on top of him with the ranged auto attacks. A beautiful stun from Sladin as well is going to seal the deal. And it's Tempest who pick up 3, nearly 4 if it weren't for the self-sacrifice there of the Venge, but a clean fight for them.
Yeah. Really well played. He's popping that Supernova, no hesitation, and like the Death Prophet is not even dying. He finally has a game, he has some farm, so he can live through stuff like that.
He just lives off a couple of Siphons and the Eul Scepter, and they actually did end up going for the Crypt Swarm cooldown talent. I haven't looked at the stats as far as like what the pick rate versus the win rate is, on offlane DP, but I have to just kind of assume that this 30 Spirit Siphon damage is usually preferred. But again, that's just an assumption. Hookshot's going to swing wide.
Yeah. No, I like that go though, because now, I mean, oh, you're feeling so good for Tempest there. You know you're up a bunch of gold, everyone has what they want, and Roche is about to spawn. So you just say, yeah, let's wait for Roche.
Let's wait for Roche. Tempest, they've beaten back the SA curse of going for Roche twice now. They've got, well, they don't know this, but it's 90 seconds until it respawns. Both teams are aware it's in the Roche window. It'll be about a bit of a longer Roche, but not the longest. A couple of items for Na'Vi are going to come up in the meantime then, so this is going to be a little bit more beneficial. No one with a Blink Dagger ready to go. Clockwork, he's not really going to be able to get his Ags up in time. Anything else that's really major here?
Yeah, no, I mean, the unfortunate part for Na'Vi is just their two supports impact is just very low. Especially, like, the Clockwork has done a lot this game. But it's just, in team fights, he doesn't really have a job. Like, it's hard for him to have big impact.
I think what I've noticed is, you know, whenever they go for the counter initiations up top lane especially, where Sevas actually got killed a couple of times, I think eventually, once Clockwork just doesn't get farm, he's way too squishy, like you're saying, right? Even if he gets the Zags, maybe TB still eats him in 3 seconds, not even, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of been the case for him. He's been throwing his body on the line, but, I mean, when it takes him barely any effort to kill him, it becomes hard to find impact.
Yeah, and then like, let's not speak of this Venge. Like, it's just, oof. Like, yeah. I'm guessing, I don't want to say, but I guess they wanted to like break the lasso with swap, but that's like, that's like a very old school idea that doesn't even work anymore. Like, Batriders don't even play like that. They don't even drag people away. They just lasso and kill you. Like,
pretty much, yeah. With the changes to the sticky napalm. I don't know. He did go for Aether Lens though. You know, that's Solo's newest item, his only item really, and he's actually holding as well the Eye of the Vizier, a new tier 2 neutral, which is going to give you about half. It is actually half of an Aether Lens, with a penalty of a little bit of less mana. So he's really gone in for extra cast range, and you can, if you hover over another swap, like you can see, it's definitely, you know, reflected here in the cast ranges, but whether or not that'll make a difference, I don't know. Because I think like the best part about new Venge, because she's gone through a couple different iterations. She once had like 2 swaps available. Now it's the one, but you have damage reduction on your cores, right? And that feels really good.
I mean, a lot of this cast range is also so she can stay back and throw magic missiles that bounce.
Yeah, with the shard. Yeah, good point. Good point. Here go Tempest.
They definitely have to contest this Roche. So.
And there's a little bit of the value there. D-Ward as well in the river by Solo is going to give at least a more equal footing here. Sentry on sentry action as Lies throwing forward. Oh no, the familiars. Okay, it's going to stay alive for now, and in goes no one there with a fresh blink dagger, but he's going to be lassoed and brought back into the waiting hands. Okay, a good swap out's going to save him for now, but no one, he's even still being chased down now, hounded by the Bat Rider, as no one is going to die there, but over in the river, still alive, but falling quickly, is going to be the DP. There's a buyback as well. The Phoenix has been taken out.
Back.
No one's going to buy back as well, but Phoenix immediately back into the fight with a Sunray and a Supernova, forcing back Batoon as he's being pummeled here by the Illusion army of Kotaro. Up onto the high ground, he's going to get off one last doppelganger as they continue to chase him. The mana burn, they've identified the real one, as there's the overclock, stunning, sweet, and strong. Didn't notice its impact too much in that fight, but Na'Vi recognizing the game's in a real desperate state here. Another buyback as Solo is killed off in the river. Oh. There's a nice kill there. Lots of damage here on the triple rocket flares. That'll at least equalize and give him a man up. And with Roche half HP, Tempest may be forced to make a hasty decision here.
They're going to let PL region up here, and I think they're going to try to go for Roche when Math Days are pulled on here. They used all their spells. No Exo, no Egg.
No Metamorphosis here either for Kotaro. He's not even close to Ag Scepter. Does have that Eye of Scotty up, but right into Roche they go.
They might have to give this up. I don't know if they can fight this.
Caillou, he's really thinking about going in, but he doesn't have Supernova, and now he's stunned twice now even by a nice hook shot to follow up. Does actually get out, but is going to be run right back on over. Roche being finished off now by the Familiars, as maybe even they get another +1 here. Kraken, okay, Yule Sceptered up, but Solo waiting for him when he comes back down. There's going to be a Magic Missile stun. And another kill from Na'Vi. It's cost them pretty heavily here. Lots of buybacks, but they will hold.
Yeah. No, that's impressive. It was very unfortunate how the Phoenix died the first time. Like, I think what PL has... Oh, he has Orchid, so he just got the kill with Orchid. So he couldn't press his egg. But then he had to buy back.
I see.
Unfortunate. Okay. All right. No one dead. Or a good swap.
Whoa. Double stun. That's a big one. Lies as well, doing some damage, and there's going to be the overclock from Sweden Strong. Oh, and two more kills. Navi stringing together. There's no buybacks here.
Yeah, Navi are showing some class right there. It's very from a position where like it looks really hard to play. They pulled this off. It's very impressive.
That's a tier 2 down now. Navi, they might even be the first. Tier 3 top's already fallen here in favor of Tempest, but they might go for a little buyback check here.
You're right. Like they're actually dead for 20 more seconds.
Yeah.
I think they have. Do they have a glyph? They have one glyph, right?
Yes, they do.
Do they? No. Oh yeah, they do. Okay.
Yeah, they do. It's the little below the scale. Yeah, you'll see it now. And that was grayed out. Yeah. Okay. That's a pair of barracks, probably mid. Okay, Fortify's out now. Of course, you do get a new Fortify for the first time you lose a tower for tier 1, 2, and 3. Careful though, because they see Slavin. They're gonna jump him and they're gonna kill him. He's down for the count. Still doesn't have buyback. They're just staggering the death timers here.
Yeah.
This is starting to get a little bit out of control. The net worth lead has fallen 7K in the past 2 minutes.
Oh, for sure. They're just they keep chain killing them, as you say. Okay, they have their spells up now. Even 4 and 5, they might be able to at least defend this.
See, Aegis in the clutches here for PL as they're doing some good damage. There's going to be the overclock, giving lots of vision here as well onto the enemy backlines. Magic Missile sent forth here to try and find a lucky stun. No such luck here.
Oh, but Kotaro pushed out the midway with an illusion, so backdoor is up now.
There it is. Okay. Navi, I think they're going to quickly realize this and get out before Sweden Strong is stunned up for too long by the remnants of overclocking. He's now got a jetpack, so now he can fly too. Everyone in Dota can fly, so it's only fair that Clockwork can fly now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
SC.
What?
State of the game then for Tempest is not looking great. We can see that little pit right there, a nice little, I don't know, what would you kind of call that? What does that look like to you?
Yeah.
On the graph.
Like one of those death, like the bear pits. You have a bunch of spikes down there.
Yeah, I think so.
But then they climbed out of it.
They have climbed, yeah, absolutely. And we'll see how long they'll be able to climb, where the peak will be, if that'll get all the way back on over to Navi, because I think Tempest are going to be a little bit frustrated. I hate to bring it up, but that might have been a little bit... it wasn't even that much, honestly, of an SA Roche. That was just Navi playing that fight very well and being patient, right? Like you said, resetting the fight as soon as they realized that Tempest had already used everything and are a bit more cooldown dependent than, of course, Navi, who just need to wait for the HP to come back on PL, and back in they go.
Yeah, for sure. No, the only unfortunate part was how PL got in the backlines and got kind of a free kill on the Phoenix. But like what you take from that fight is that Navi played it really well.
Yeah, exactly.
I would not put much blame on. Then like the bad part was that, they feel this kind of weird, like, how the hell are they roshing?
Yeah.
We're so far ahead. But you have to realize you have no spells and you have to give it up, even though it sucks.
Too weak. Yeah, and then they start chain killing themselves a little bit, and that felt a bit difficult to try and recover from. But items are still coming online. There's still a small but noteworthy net worth lead. Oh, this is an interesting use of overclocking. You see how he's using it out of combat just for vision?
Yeah.
Ah, I like that.
Oh, you want to get the full use out of it, man.
Oh, for sure.
You can even farm across the map with it.
And I mean, and that's actually pretty punishing for someone like a Nyx Assassin, because I don't know if he gets this 20 talent. I don't know which one he's going to want to take. Oh, hold on, they're fighting.
Nice
okay.
stun.
And in they go. That's a huge kill as well.
They're playing so well, man. Like, they're not hesitating at all. Like, the second they see a chance to go, they just stun lock you.
There's blood in the water here, Navi. Yeah. They're all about it, as there's a disconnect as well.
Oh, imagine 15k gold swing and your PC just keeps dying.
That'd be... Oof, that'd be rough. that would be rough, especially when you're...
Oh, he has no buyback, man.
No one has got buyback on Tempest, actually.
Yeah.
Only one here in the game. I was going to bring it up just before we had the pause, but it's only Vitoon who's got buyback, and of course he's still covered. He's got insurance, right? He's got the Aegis for another minute. He's just being fiscally responsible here.
Yeah.
I believe that has that. That does mean Sebas bought out, though, right? So, yes, there's no buyback on Batrider, but, the upside, he does have this Refresher Orb, so he's got now 2 ultis to use. TB as well, I believe, full bot for this Daedalus seems to be his newest item. So, you know, if they can get the fight right, it looks like they'll be in a pretty strong position, especially with spells available. They have to make sure if they start a fight, and I mean like, you know, commit to a fight, they have to make sure it ends. Like they can't let this fight kind of get away where a Vatoon, who actually used to be a dancer, funny enough, like where he kind of just slips out of these fights and then comes back in, right? He's doing a great job on the PL of dancing in and out of these fights, and it can't happen. They need to make sure they can lock him down. Maybe Refresher on Batrider's the answer for that?
Yeah, I mean, either that or they let him, he can dance all he wants and then just kill his team. Like, it's either or.
Okay.
Both are fine. Because, like, when PL can't, like, literally 1-on-5, he still needs these stunts, the backup. But if you're, like, trying to focus him, he lives, and, like, his team is just pummeling you, that's when PL shines.
There's a reconnect, so we'll get started shortly. But it's starting to get a little tense here. 3K, the net worth lead now. Not really much to write home about this late into the game. I think tier 4s, are just now becoming available.
But I also have to say, when Navi are playing like this, the Vengeful Spirit is finally working as a pick. Because now when you kind of want to, you know, catch something and drag it out of position, you can't do that anymore.
Can't.
And he can also just sit back and spam his missiles. So I think he has to just lasso the bench. He has to find a bench and use his first lasso and kill him. He's having a lot of impact right now.
So we talked about this a bit yesterday, right, when we were just kind of watching a couple of replays, but you talked about this ability of some more veteran players or of some teams in particular that have the ability to you know, they're not building for the next 10 minutes, right? Maybe that's what Solo has been doing here. He's building for the next 15 to 20 minutes, right, with this build, kind of recognizing the state of this game. If they're going to be winning, what he has to do, what role he has to play.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, yeah, he definitely has a plan of what he wants his hero to do. And unfortunately, his hero is useless when you're 12k gold behind and they're just running over you. Because what are you going to swap? You're just swapping into the fight at that point, because the fight is wherever you are on top of you. But now, when they get to, like, do these kills, when they chase them down, stun lock, he's like just stunning 2 heroes from 1k range away, and just completely countering the bat. Also,
I don't know, Navi. I don't know if those tips are just, you know, welcome back to the game. Here's a couple of tips, or it doesn't matter if you reconnect. We're ending the game in the next minute. We know you have buyback. I'm not sure what the meaning of it is. But
I mean, no one is definitely.
He's ready. Did you see his camera? He was ready to go, man. He wants to play some Dota. He's feeling good now.
Yeah, he got a couple of tips there when he got picked off in the mid game.
For sure,
he gets the payback.
This butterfly, I mean, I do feel like it's pretty nice for the TB in the 1v1, right, versus PL. But I feel like the problem for this much more has become not so much that, you know, you're dying to PL because he like has a bash or something, but you're dying because you're not winning, rather, because you can't fight without meta. Like, this item just doesn't feel that great if you already don't have meta or like the Terror Wave or something, compared to Medusa, who can just always fight.
True. Well, I mean, that's just terribly though as a hero. Like, I think like their items and like how they played it's been quite good this game. It's just right after that fight at Roche, like it doesn't even go that poorly. It just goes a little poorly. But Navi buy back like 3-4 heroes, and you have to recognize that you can't contest it anymore.
For sure.
And like it's a hard, what do you say? Not emotional, like mental thing when you're like, you know, you're winning, and you're like, how are they rushing? Like that shouldn't be possible, but you have to accept it.
Where are you watching?
And they couldn't do that, and now you see their racks down and
maybe more. I mean, Navi, they're running it down mid right now, and well, there ain't no bid barracks, are there? So that might be something bigger they have on their eyes here. While we're still paused, you know, something I've just kind of noticed is all of Navi right now have purchased an Egg Shard. I don't know. I just was curious, right? Because you used to be a drafter. You draft. Is that something you consider? Like, obviously, in terms of scalability, in terms of like how good is our team for second Roche, how good is our team, you know, in scaling in late game? Because Egg Shard is like a free slot, basically, right? I mean, not free, 1,400 gold, but you know, you take a look at what Tempest have, and Nick's Shard doesn't feel that great. Batrider is very situational. TB is like a super luxury item, I see, but everyone for Navi, they've got their spells, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, usually when it's really like there's some shards that like that Phoenix shard, for example, is huge this game.
Oh, yeah.
And like, okay, we see here now they're just going straight for a Rax here. They know no buyback.
I know.
Age is still up for a minute. Like this is.
If there was, you know, they're probably willing to just force it out. At some stage, I mean, maybe it's a cost thing, right? Tempest, they might bluff and say they've got the buyback, so I don't think they want to commit to a fight, because 5v4 is not a fight I think that they're going to do well in. They can give up these top lane of barracks. It's still a tier 1 up, actually, down bottom. So, you know, I think there's no need for Tempest to really go all out for this top lane of barracks, especially when it means they'd be fighting at 5v4, basically. 5v6, 4v6 even if you count Aegis, really, on PL.
Yeah. Oh. It's quite unfortunate for them. No, there are certain matchups with the Ag shard, like PA, for example. It like completely changes that hero. In that, like, heroes that kind of counter her, like Tidehunter and stuff, she actually counters them when she buys her shard.
Just looking at Sweden strong, man becomes just an absolute overclocking machine.
Yeah, no, this looks so strong.
It's really good. I never thought about using it this way. I think what's also really nice is that even if you don't get to use another last 3-second rocket flare, the cooldown is still 3 seconds no matter what. So you still get to shoot another regular rocket flare right after for some more lingering vision. And it just lights up so much of the map. Here go Tempest. They move out of their base to smoke. They're going to go for a stand here for their tier 2 tower, the last outer remaining tower of the game. As in goes the Nyx Vendetta up. They're going to see who they can find. Can they catch the right Vitoon? He's going to Manta up, and now it's going to be a good catch onto Qualifiers.
Oh no, Phoenix.
Barely free, but the Phoenix in trouble. Gets off the Supernova. That's a big one. And they're going to be able to drag back Solo for the kill. Sebas has another one, and now he doesn't have to worry about the swap breaking his lasso. Can they get ice? Yes, in fact. They're going to be able to catch a Visage. Silenced up. There's no chance for him to use the Gravekeeper's Cloak active. So now it's going to be a 4 versus 3. Great jump in from Sebas. We'll send Na'Vi back, and well, there's another plus 200 gold for Tempest.
There it is. Yeah. I mean, like, this is how the fights are supposed to be. But okay, now they just have to be careful again, because they have no spells. And unfortunately, they're 2 racks down, so this game is very complicated.
Oh, and
here they go.
They might be another DP down. There's no buyback here either on Draken still. There's no mana, and very soon, no life left. Oh, and you know what? Actually, that butterfly is no longer any good. Vitoon, of course, with Bloodthorn, that active does give you 100% hit chance. Accuracy is actually the way it's rewarded, as Katyu is going to drop as well to no one. So even Butterfly, if there's not a Dispel available for Qualifiers, he's not going to be able to rely on that for the 1v1.
Yeah. And you see what happens after a team fight. They have to be more disciplined. Instead, they get picked off, and yeah, they lose both towers.
Clockwork, I mean, he just gets given so much vision. Na'Vi, though, still, as you say, playing quite disciplined, very patient. They're not going to force to go up to high ground quite yet. Maybe thinking about next Roche, which is going to respawn as soon as in 45 seconds. A couple more items are going to come online in the meantime. Tier 4 specifically now, it seems to be what Tempest have in mind, and Na'Vi.
Yeah. Wonder are there any special items here that would save you?
Havoc Hammer might be an interesting one if you want to try and identify the right one. What's that? No one's using Blast Rig here, which I guess makes sense when you have Titan Sliver and Quickening Charm to contend with it.
Nothing that makes that big of a difference, I feel.
I would agree. The spell's not that good. Yeah.
Now, so Tempest are just in this position now when they use all their spells, they need to get unlocked. If they only get 2 kills, like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because Na'Vi have a lot of options. Like, Na'Vi could try to go and siege high ground. They could even do that, but maybe they'll just wait for the Roche. It's just annoying now when you have 2 lanes constantly pushing in. But at least you have a Terrorblade. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's a jump. They got Solo. Maybe they meant to get Sweet and Strong, but it doesn't matter. They'll take Solo. That's a kill. That was, of course, calculated. Kill's a kill. We'll take those. Tempest now with a man up, looking for more, but Sweet and Strong looking to go on in. He finds a stun. That's a lot of damage onto Draken, but a lot of heals as well coming through, courtesy of Katyu. Everyone just lined up for this. Looking through most of the illusions. They're going to be on top of Qualifiers, but he's going to be able to dispel the Bloodthorn.
Phoenix is
but careful though. Woo! Oh, he couldn't get off the Supernova. Couldn't Icarus dive. Nothing available to him, but he's going to buy back now. Solo without buyback. So it is a 5 versus 4 here. The Tempest, once again, they've used all of their spells.
Yep.
The Sheepstick. That's up. A quick hex onto Quataro. Now that is no longer protected by the BKB, does leave him a bit vulnerable.
Okay, Batrider.
Batrider, he is looking for the jump.
Yes, lasso.
He does, but it's no one.
Nyx picked off no one in the back.
What a jump.
Can they get it? Can they get a lasso?
He's going to buy back, though. Needs to go back on in. Lies as well. He's got himself a Lotus, a Linken's to protect him, but not against the right-click damage. Careful, though. Sebas being chased down by Vatoon, still kept alive, and actually with the Firefly kiting out this last illusion. In fact, Vatoon could be in a bit of trouble. The damage, though, this time around is not going to be high enough to kill Katu immediately. Vatoon realizing he cannot take down this Ega by himself, and is going to go down to the right-clicks of Quataro. Wu Dota returning the tips there. Sadly for Tempest, Roche just isn't up yet, and they got to get back. They're about to start losing tier 4 towers, so Quataro is forced back anyway. Couple buybacks forced, but Tempest still showing that they've got a lot of fight left in them.
Yeah. No, they have. Their tiers are still very strong. Phoenix buying back there. Won't have, so they won't like have buybacks for the Roche, but no one bought back as well. That's a huge buyback.
It is, and it actually kind of leaves Navi in this bit of an awkward spot where, you know, I feel like staggering, you know, your support's buying back, usually not the biggest deal in the world. There's like exceptions to that if you have like a silencer versus, you know, an Enigma, but this game, not the biggest deal in the world, as we'll take another look at that fight. But when you start staggering the buyback timers of your cores, you know, especially one as crucial as a Pango, like, you know, it gives the enemies a real win condition, doesn't it?
Yeah. We'll see here later. Let's see the fight, the replay here. Yeah, so the Phoenix is just getting absolutely just 2 illusions killing him.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't think he's spamming his egg, but he might not even get it off. No one almost is dying to TB auto-attacking him. And then, yeah, look at the Nyx here, just sneaking around. A very nice play.
Yeah, he's just lurking, looking for a kill. Surprised there's no gem out on Navi yet, and...
Yeah, he sees no one there, and then he
just buys back, yeah. Just goes right on in for it. There he goes. Wow, got it with mana burn. And that kind of breaks the fight apart again. You see it allows Wu to get a pretty decent position. Tempest, they stop fighting in that really awkward, you know, river ravine right there. And Navi find themselves a little bit too committed in this fight, it feels like.
Yeah, and then I think B2...
Careful, though.
Okay, a smoke again.
Yeah, there's smoke on smoke. Tempest back in real time here. Looking to maybe once again get outside of the river. Roche is up though. Third Roche. He's come this time with a refresher shard. Oh, but they're just on in. Right into Solo, who doesn't have buyback, but no one doing his best to cover his compatriot. Solo feared and killed off. Quataro as well is going to live through that first instance of burst. Solo, pardon me, does have buyback. He uses it instantly. The fight's breaking out. Quataro did not use Metamorphosis for the kill, quite crucially though.
Yeah, they didn't use any spells except Lasso.
Rolling Thunder was used, but no one has the 25 talent, so the cooldown is not quite negligible, but he'll have it again shortly.
Slavin being very brave in here.
That he is. Still no detection available to him quite yet, as Vatoon is going to think about starting up Roche. In fact, he starts up Roche.
No detection. The Nyx is just scouting.
He is. He can't believe this is free. And that's given great intel. There goes Quataro. He's going to commit now for the Metamorphosis. They have a Supernova as well. Outside of the pit. In they go. They've actually found Vatoon with a nice stun. Roche falling fast. Vatoon, is he going to try and contest it? No, he gets the heck out of there. Quataro's going to claim all the bounty, but it's madness around the pit. Vatoon is going to be back on the Draken. He actually lives because Sladen gets off a pretty nice Carapace and an additional stun. But the Clockwork doing some damage secures 2 kills here. And it's Quataro in the pit now, fighting 2 versus 4. He's going to be able to get off the Sunder. Vatoon, though, knows that he's got him beat here in the 1v1. Quataro goes to the TP out, the bash not out in time. That's going to leave Sebas condemned and killed, but he's got buyback at the very least. They've only got 2 here down on Navi, as no one, again, he gets sniped by Sladen. Katu, very likely to die as soon as Vatoon returns back there from the Yule Scepter. Down he goes, 3 kills for Vatoon this fight. Oh my goodness, that I couldn't even keep up with that, man.
Very intense. And like in all that madness, Terrorblade ends up denying the Aegis. And yeah, I don't know. I think who got the cheese? I don't even know who picked up the cheese.
I thought
whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't think he made inventory space, so he just denies it. And I think someone like, because he tried to lasso the PL, but I think no one was really quick with Linken's. I don't even know. It was so fast. Crazy stuff, that fight. But now I guess they can just go for this last Drax here. Doesn't have BKB. He has Refresher on Terrorblade. I don't know how they're supposed to... Nyx needs to get over here. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they're fine.
There's Overclock as well for some more vision. Lies now finally getting to do some really good work just with the familiars alone. Does get the Fortify out. And that's the last one that Tempest are going to have, at least until it naturally comes off cooldown in another 5 minutes. Not having Aegis there does put this one in a really awkward position, huh?
Yeah.
What the?
I mean, honestly, that Aegis is more for them to get a nice fight, right? Where Navi kind of have to contest them. It doesn't matter too much. It's so unfortunate for them that they're down 2 racks here. It just makes everything. I would say they're favored, if not for their racks.
You know, that fight was so I don't know what it looked like on your end, but even on my PC, that you know, did fall a bit on the frames. Vatoon's used to that, actually. In his interviews when he joined the team, he actually said that he used to start playing Dota. He played Dota for 6 months on a computer that ran it at 10 FPS. So he's used to it. He's trained for that.
No, I've had stories like that before. When I played with the Envy, he had like a really bad PC. So he didn't understand his monitor settings either. So he was always playing on 60 hertz, maybe even lower. And then when he got to LAN, it was like, oh my god, this feels so good.
There it is.
And then he would perform better.
They just never figured it out. Navi, they're figuring this one out. Up to the high ground they go.
Yeah, no glyph, right? So
no glyph. Man, what was that just purchased? Okay, TB, he's not bought out actually. He still has buy, but he has just purchased a full Bloodthorn. So that'll help him get his hands onto the PL. He's got now some evasion of his own. Butterfly, but they found a lasso. It's onto the Vengeful Spirit yet again. That's this time certainly going to be a dieback. Sebas as well the second time around. He's going to catch a big fish, and that's going to be live. The hook shot doesn't cancel the Phoenix Icarus dive, so Supernova is going to be a huge point for Tempest to fight around. Cortado beating back now into Sweden Strong as Navi are forced back 1 by 1, but the 2 raid bosses left now. No one's going to go into Rolling Thunder and finds the kill there onto the Nyx Assassin. That's a dieback. Some good damage well onto Cortado as Vatoon thinking about turning, going back on. Look, the Thunder! It's not good enough. Cortado falling low, doesn't have Aegis. He denied it in the pit, and now he's going to be killed. Oh no, Draken, he's going to be next to die as well. Silenced and surrounded by Vatoon. But Cortado rather, he buys back, pops the meta yet again, has BKB in 2 more seconds here. But it's too scary. Navi, after getting 2 kills there, there's blood in the water. They're going to go for more. They're at least going to get the Megas.
Yeah, no, you see the PL versus Terrorblade here. This is when I guess it gets rough.
Late game PL, man. Not something here Tempest seem to be ready to deal with. Mega's on the way, but Sebas just eaten alive there. He's got buyback, he's got no BKB. Might not even have the last on Cortado. He needs help. Gets off a big Sunder. He found the real one as well. But Vatoon, he's just going to doppel and get out. He's going to be able to reset there with the heart regeneration. No one covering his retreat with a nice Rolling Thunder. And Navi, 30 seconds away. There's Megas actually. Took him a little while longer to get the range barracks pardon, but Megas now on their way. And I don't think they're done leaving the base yet. They want to dive back on a 7. He gets the BKB off and is barely able to escape. But the disarm there onto Cortado. Vatoon is going to jump in on that. There's a disarm though. And now Cortado is going to be able to dispel. Sebas looking for a jump. He's going to find a lasso. Oh, but Sweden Strong there to cancel it. The Sunray heals not nearly enough. Sebas trying to find safety over his Ancient. But down he goes. That's 3 dead as Tempest not being allowed to leave the fountain. And GG is called. Oh, Navi have brought this game back from the brink. Unbelievable stuff from them.
Yeah, no, you have to. But really impressive. Like, that's just a really impressive win. Because the position they were in, it's very hard to play from. Like the way, like a lot of people don't think about that, like how you take that fight. Like that Roche fight is crucial. It's really well played. And like any team can make that mistake. Like even if they're playing, I don't know, let's say LGD, like it's so easy for